didn't get promoted away from your friends. You got promoted above them. That's a different problem. The distance isn't geographic, it's structural. And most managers spend years trying to pretend it isn't there. They keep the same jokes, the same lunch table, the same tone. They tell themselves the relationship survived intact. What they don't see is that the relationship didn't survive, it transformed. And they're the last one to know. Premise. When a friend becomes a direct report, most managers instinctively try to preserve the friendship. They treat it as an asset, a head start on trust, a shortcut to candor. They believe the pre-existing relationship makes them a better manager of that person. Reframe. It doesn't. It makes them a more comfortable one. Those are not the same thing. The friendship doesn't give you better access to the truth. It gives you better access to the performance of the truth. Your friend knows how to read you. They know what you want to hear, what will land badly, what will make things awkward at the next team dinner. They've had years of practice navigating your reactions. That history, the same history you think is an advantage, is exactly what makes their feedback to you less reliable, and your feedback to them less clean. There's a second layer here. When you protect the friendship, you're not just softening your management of that person. You're signaling to everyone else on the team that this relationship is in a different category. You don't have to say it. You don't have to do anything obvious. The team reads the room. They notice who gets the longer one-on-ones, who gets the warmer tone in a group meeting, who you give more runway when a deadline slips. They do the math. And once they've done it, the problem isn't favoritism, it's credibility. Yours. Move. Stop managing the friendship. Start managing the role. That means treating the accountability conversation with your former peer the same way you'd treat it with anyone else. Same directness, same standard, same consequence. Not because you're trying to prove something. Because the moment you soften it, you've already decided the friendship matters more than your integrity as a manager. And your team will see that before you do. Premise. Most managers assume the hard part of this transition is managing their friend. It isn't. The hard part is what their friend is now being asked to do, which is follow them. Reframe. Your friend knew you before you had authority. They knew the version of you that complained about the same boss you now represent. They were in the room when you rolled your eyes at a policy you're now responsible for enforcing. That history doesn't disappear when the org chart changes. It lives in every interaction. Every time you deliver a directive from above, they're running it against everything they know about what you actually think. And if there's any gap, any flicker of inauthenticity, they will find it. Not to undermine you, because they know you. This is the paradox that most leadership frameworks never address. The people who know you best are the hardest to lead. Not because they respect you less, but because they see you more clearly. The distance that makes leadership possible, the slight opacity that lets authority function, doesn't exist with them. You can't construct a professional persona with someone who's watched you fail, complain, and doubt yourself in real time. So the instinct to lean into the friendship, to use the closeness as a management tool, actually backfires. The closeness is the friction, not the lubricant. Move. Have the explicit conversation most managers avoid entirely, not a formal role clarification speech. Something more honest than that. Acknowledge directly that the dynamic has changed, that you're both navigating it, and that you're going to hold them to the same standard you'd hold anyone else. Not because the friendship is gone, but because protecting them from that standard would be a different kind of disrespect. That conversation doesn't fix everything, but it puts the tension on the table instead of letting it fester underneath every interaction for the next 2 years. Premise: there's an assumption underneath all of this that's worth naming. Most managers believe the goal is to find a workable balance, keep enough of the friendship intact while building enough professional distance to function, find the middle ground, manage both simultaneously. Reframe: that framing is wrong, and the managers who hold onto it the longest do the most damage to the relationship, to the team, and to themselves. The friendship doesn't need to be balanced against the role. It needs to be renegotiated entirely. Those are different things. Balance implies you're preserving something. Renegotiation implies you're building something new from what's left. The friendship you had was built on equality, shared frustration, shared humor, mutual irreverence toward the institution. That foundation is gone. The institution now runs through you. You are, whether you like it or not, part of the structure your friend used to joke about with you. What can survive is something more durable than the original friendship, but it requires both people to grieve the old version first. Most managers skip the grief. They try to manage around it. They act like nothing fundamental changed, or they overcorrect and become stiff and formal. Both responses are avoidance. The stiffness is just avoidance with better posture. The hidden cost of skipping this is that the relationship stays frozen in the old form. Your friend keeps relating to you as a peer. You keep managing them like you owe them something. Neither of you is operating in the actual present. And the team, who has no nostalgia for the old relationship, is watching two people pretend the org chart doesn't say what it says. Move. Let the old version of the relationship go. Not dramatically, not with a conversation about feelings. Just stop maintaining it artificially. Stop performing the old dynamic because it's comfortable. If the friendship has legs in the new structure, it will find its own shape over time, built on honesty, not nostalgia. But it can't get there while you're still protecting the version that no longer exists. The promotion didn't change your friend. It changed what you are to them. That's the part that takes years to accept. You keep expecting the relationship to feel the way it used to, and when it doesn't, you assume something went wrong. Nothing went wrong. Something ended. The managers who lead well through this are the ones who stopped trying to recover what they lost and started building what the new thing actually requires. The title changed. So did the relationship. Lead the one you have.